Hello, welcome to the newspaper review. Today is the 27th day in the month of March 2023, and we are very much happy to be back right here to bring you the reviews across newspapers around Nigeria. You are welcome to join us by dropping your comments and the reactions on the comment section. To do the reviews with me today is Victor Sioku. You are welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. How was your weekend?
Well, my weekend was smooth, dull, but well, we got by. For now, football is no longer in action, but then we have international matches being played here and there. I was able to see one of the matches, even though that's because I was not really busy, but then it was okay. How was yours though?
It was cool. It was a remarkable Sunday for me because I was opportune to undergo a free medical check.
Oh yes, I did that one too.
Okay, really?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Eye check.
Okay.
I got to check my eye. I noticed that I could not read things that are really too close to my eyes, and then they referred me to get some glasses to fix it and all of that. So yeah, I'm hoping to do that soon.
So well,
it's great.
Well, it's such the kind of economy that we run in Nigeria, and having things like
any
this.
cost you can avoid.
Oh my!
Any cost you can take off your bill is something to appreciate.
Do you know that I got so late that. Well, it was grace, or will I say favor? Because some persons that knew me, they were like, no, you just have to.
Yeah.
You just have to find a way for you. So I was just the last person they attended to, and it was worth it. And I give God the praise. Yeah, at the end of the day, I feel so healthy. In fact, it even made me yesterday. I was like, let me just rest and just stay home without even pressing the computer or anything, and just stay home. And
it's so true.
It was worth it. I think we should, as while we are maturing, we are getting older. We should find ways to balance things up.
It's so true. Same advice I got, for the first time I was going to check my BP for the first time in a very long while, and I just realized that I'm not as young as I used to be, where you feel like there's no need to check, and the doctors were like, you need to check your BP from time to time. It's not like it is high, but it's not as sweet as it used to be when you were 25, so please be checking from time to time. So it just goes on. I just learned yesterday that it's very important that once you're above 40 or once you're 40, begin to check these vital signs every now and then, especially as a man living in Nigeria.
But you know the issues now. Finances. By the time you start thinking of going to a private hospital or even a public hospital, by the time they got some figures for you and all that,
BP check doesn't require you to have
aside the BP check. What about blood
sugar level?
Like the eye. In fact, yesterday was the first time in my entire life
you will have to check your eye.
Check my eyes.
Yeah.
So man, how much it would have cost
you? Yeah, because you would have bought a hospital card, then you would have paid for consultancy fee before they will check and then refer you. And you don't go to these places for them to just let you go. They probably prescribe one eye drop for you to be using at some point. So the least money you would have spent would have been between 30 to 40K before you walk out of that place. And then subsequently you now buy the glasses and for that amount. So yes, it's a good one that the check part has been done for free based on thanks to Army of David of House on the Rock Church here in Port Harcourt. They did that for us, and it's something we really appreciate. Kudos to you guys, and we hope to see more other corporate organizations do things like this to help people around you. You don't know, you might just be saving a life. Some people walk around, don't even know that their BP, the small headache they are feeling or they've been feeling in the last 3 days, is because their BP is overboard. And they have not, and these guys are probably maybe between age 35 and 40, so they feel, I'm healthy, I'm young, why am I thinking that's my BP? And you go and check and your BP is overboard, and it could just lead to a stroke. So we don't want to have all of those surprises. I just feel if you're a man living in Nigeria, you should check your BP from time to time, because the pressure out here is real. All right, let's take on. Yes, thank you so much. Let's go straight to taking our newspaper headlines, because that's the business we deal with here. And we're going to go with This Day newspaper as our first paper for today, being the 27th day in the month of March. And we'll see what the headlines on This Day says here. I say, UNN honors Zenith Bank CEO Ebenezer Onyago with doctoral degree, dedicates a word to the board management of bank, especially Ovia, who has remained a mentor, leader, source of inspiration. Other headlines here, we see CBN and ANAACOP launch Agro e-Naira wallet, targets 5 million farmers in northern Nigeria. And going downwards, to see Benue PDP suspends national chairman. Are you for anti-party activities? Benue PDP suspends national chairman. Are you for anti-party activities? You see that story on page 41 of this day newspaper. We also see here, Nigerians grieve as General Oladipo Dia passes at 78. Buhari, Obasanjo, Jonathan, Tinubu, Atiku, governors, others pay tribute. Before I go on with the headlines, remember Oladipo Dia during Abacha's time, he was like the deputy, head of state then, and then I don't know. Abacha's time though was quite a rule in Nigeria. Well, do you remember anything from that time though?
Oh sure, I think Oladipo Dia was aside the top. Yeah. Guys like
generals,
he really made buzz out there, especially when he was incarcerated. Okay, well at that time I was now starting to learn politics or learn more about the Nigerian politics. Okay, so during that time I was seeing him as a young person. I was seeing Oladipo Dia as a good man. Okay,
I too saw him in that light.
Yeah, I was seeing him as a good man.
While Abacha was the very mean man.
Yes,
Oladipo was the one that tries to balance the government and all of that.
Yeah. So, but why going on? Why spending my days here on earth? I will not say that he's a bad man.
Yeah.
Also, but because why am I saying I'm not there to judge him? Well, the Nigerian. The court itself already gave him freedom. Yeah. Okay, but yes, let me just do it. If you allow me to do a little background. Now, mind you, he rose from the ranks. Okay, first and foremost, he fought during the Civil War. He was a very young soldier, very active, and he did his lot for his country. Yeah. Okay, then down the line, he even became what do you call it? Military administrator for Ogun State.
Yes, as a governor.
Not until then that guy is a strong man. He went down the line to get a law degree. Okay, then the Abacha regime came, and he was ever present. Then along the line, I think what also happened there is from his own testament, that when Abacha was nursing the dream to be a life president, okay, they now, as senior officers then, they now gave him options that he must abide by, okay, but Abacha didn't like those options. Okay, then
of course it was sent.
What then happened? Then Abacha government said that that they were planning
a coup.
Not just a coup, a violent coup. Okay, that they were planning a violent coup, and
that's how he left the government, and of course prison and all of that, and then today he's a free man, but then he has died at the age of 78. Yeah, well, he lived long, and then history will forever remember him. Yes, history will forever remember him, whether for good or for bad. Time will tell, but generally I don't think it's for bad, because if it was for bad, till today they're still recovering Abacha loot. They're still recovering Abacha loot, and no loot has been recovered that is connected to Dia, even though he was in that government. So it just tells you that yes, even as crazy as that government, that administration, that military government was, there were still some people that were a bit maybe under control, as it were. Else, today I guess the justice system would have caught up with him. But he dies at age 78, and like I said earlier, Nigerian history will forever remember the man Oladipo Dia. All right, let's go on to take other headlines here on this day newspaper. We see here as the main headline, deregulation, brace for 750 naira per litre petrol when subsidy is removed. Stakeholders tell Nigerians want government to channel savings from subsidy to provision of palliatives for masses. 25 Nigerian crude shipments struggle to find buyers in Europe as French strike continues. More than half of Nigerian export impacted by latest development. Try oil thieves for treason. ex-naval policy chief urges federal government, says government not doing enough to curtail oil saboteurs. All right, let's take on this story. So plans for subsidy removal are still on, and stakeholders are beginning to project that Nigerians are going to buy, the cost of petrol is going to rise up to 750 naira per litre once this subsidy removal is finalized. How do you see that, playing out for Nigerians though? And then do you trust the process that, these money that will be gotten from the subsidy will be channeled in the right places in this new administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
I think first of all, the Buhari regime is not doing not good. Why am I saying that? Because we are just few months from when the subsidy regime will be cut off. And what has happened? Any welfare so far? Are there investment in shuttles, in buses,
things in place to help Nigerians to go through the because at first it's going to be tough for Nigerians to accept 750 naira per litre for a product as petrol that is like a lifeline in Nigeria, because Nigerians a lot of things depend on fuel for sustenance here in Nigeria, ranging from cars, generators, businesses, market women, because all of this will, be affected.
Pressure. Prices
will go up. So what is Nigeria doing? What is the soft landing for Nigerians when this finally happens? I understand what you're saying.
So same thing that is happening with the Naira scarcity, where there were no provisions.
They just came on board.
It just happened and everybody is suffering it. I think that will surely happen if they go ahead by June to take it off. Okay, but you now ask the question, with what is the inflation that we cannot shy away, that the Tinubu and the Buhari regime, that they must fight. There must be blames. Stones will be thrown at each other. But now the question will be like, are you sure that Tinubu will want to start his reign
with that kind of,
okay, or are they going to shift the goalpost once more? But if they go ahead to start it, it will be will I use the word destructive for their new government. And see, Nigeria, we are under a cake powder that wants to just explode.
True.
So if you bring in that pressure right now,
who knows?
It might just be too much. And let's not also forget that the oil theft will also increase, because there is now more value
in the product
to the product. So, but you don't still ask the question. The oil thieves that they've been telling us, they will mention. We know about how many, 44. They will say 44 of them. We have a list of 100 and something of them.
Or even the ships that were arrested. We only get to see the crew that was arrested. We don't get to see the kingpins behind the scenes that are moving these big liters of crude oil across the border for sales.
And there are still some rumors, traces, that the politicians that just finished these elections, that they were the ones that sponsored all those oil theft businesses so that they could get money to suffer the masses, because the election that happened, it was come on. We know all that happened, okay? So there are still strong ties that these guys used them to make money so that they can fund their ambition. Okay, 3 months to go. Just 3 months to go. Are we ready for this heat? Because I would call it a big heat that will be falling upon Nigeria. So by the time you cut the Naira issue is not about the scarcity of Naira I'm talking about the forex part of Naira, that we know that forex is a big issue. Our foreign reserve has gone so low, down to 35, from 39 down to 35 billion dollars. So that's how it's been depleting. And what then happens in the next 3 months? Mind you, this is Nigeria. In as much as one might be like, okay, that in the federal, in the state, that we will have a whole lot of siphoning and thieving that will happen in the next few months
because of the change of government.
Yes, they will deplete the resources by states, and also that will also happen in the federal. Watch it.
And you know, somebody has already raised that alarm that, you know, EFCC and you know, related security agencies should keep their eyes on outgoing governments because the looting has begun. They have been moving things.
We've been having EFCC for donkey years. Even during the last 4 years, I don't want to mention any state right now, but maybe I should mention Imo State. When Richards was leaving, we saw videos. We were there for the public eye to see that looting occurred.
Yes.
Physical looting, that's what we are talking about.
We don't know the ones that were behind
that will happen electronically. So these are issues that just keep coming and coming and coming.
It's funny that it has become some sort of evil tradition for Nigerians or in Nigerian politics where one government is leaving office and when they are leaving they go with everything as if it's their right. Government properties.
If you say government, the people's property.
That were bought with people's taxes, you know, all the huge taxes they heap on the general public and they use it to run the government. They loot it as if it were their personal ones, properties. And you see them sharing government properties within their wives, their friends, and, you know, workers within the government. Even here in River State, I remember when there was a switch between Amechi and Wike. You know, we heard Wike crying, they are put even door in government house, that they put the armored doors to where that Amechi should provide it. And this is not just peculiar to either River State or Imo State. Many of the states around the country experience these things. We just hope that for once Nigeria will begin to breed this culture that will, you know, eventually become a good thing where they live and leave monies in the coffers of the government. Not just monies, leave properties, leave, you know, things that have been bought by the outgoing government, and then let people come and, you know, start from there. But then what we see most of the time is that they go out and then the new government come in and begin to start with outrageous budgets to replace these things. Same thing we saw here in River State. The first borrowing that you know, Governor Wike made when he came in, hundreds of billions to replace most of these things that were stolen. So he starts afresh. And so, well, we just hope that, you know, security agencies will stand up to their responsibilities and stop some of these very, you know, irrational behaviors of our politicians. All right, let's move away from this day newspaper and we'll go to the New Telegraph. And a New Telegraph here, we see as headline here, it says, Naira redesign. Naira redesign, currency outside banks dropped by 1.8 trillion. We also see here banking crisis. IMF warns of increased risk to financial stability. Page 4 is where you will get details of that story. Moving downwards, of course, same story here. It says ex-CDS Oladipo Dia dies at 79. Well, the other people reported 78, but here we see 79. Buhari, Obasanjo, Jonathan, Tinubu, Kalu, others pay tribute. Political rascals, Nwayanwu's comment mischievously twisted. Ohaneze speaking there. We also see here NCC. CSIRT warns of pirated YouTube software-related malware. All right, okay. You know, if you know you're always online, you should be aware and be worried about that warning. And you should read up that story on page 8 of, you know, New Telegraph newspaper. Moving downwards to the headliner here, it says 2023 polls. British envoy faults Fani Kayode's inciting remarks. Says 10 persons on visa ban watch list. Article Hales UK says DSS must arrest former minister. Page 2 is where you will get the entire details of that story. And then we'll take this one to post-election crisis. PDP national chair Ayu suspended by ward. How PDP's electoral fortunes dwindled after 2015 presidential polls. All right. We'll also take this one. It says Nimet, KB, Zamfara, Sokoto orders to witness high temperatures above 40 degrees. That's a warning that Nigerians should take seriously because these temperatures, when I lived in the north for a while, and I know that when these temperatures begin to show up, a lot of people fall sick of meningitis and other, infectious diseases that begin to take lives up there in the north. So these are when, NIMET, release these warnings. I noticed that Nigerians don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Same as we had with the flooding. Warnings were, released months before that time, but people didn't take it seriously. It was more like, 2012, we survived it. We're going to survive it again when it comes. But then you can imagine the extent to which that flooding, caused. But then, aside that story, let's go into other matters here. First, let's start with that of Ayu, that is the national chairman of the PDP, has been reported suspended by the ward. What do you say to all of that story?
It's time politicking, and some persons have started pointing fingers to Wike.
Okay, I also heard him say in one report where he was saying that he's satisfied with the suspension, that because things has to be done the right way and nobody is above the laws of the party. Yeah.
So you ask, what are the reasons why he was suspended? Number one, they mentioned that he did not participate during the the state elections, that the State House of Assembly and the Guba elections that happened in Benue State, that he was not present. Then secondly, they say that he did anti-party, supporting another party. And okay, lastly, that I can remember, that he did not pay his dues, his last 1 year dues. I think for me, these are just funny.
Yes.
Somebody's out there plotting to take him off. Okay, and the indications are also there that it's better. Okay, somebody said that thing. It's better that you lose one person than to lose an entire crowd. Why am I saying this? Because people were pointing out, look at the G5s. Okay, it's better that you lose one person than losing 5. But aside the 5, we saw other persons that joined the 5s, like Ekiti State Governor Fayoshe, and the Board of Trustee, Bode George. So we found out that right now maybe they've learned their lessons, and then they are now playing. For me, to me, it's unjust. Okay. And but at the end of the day, we know the kind of politics that we run in this country, petty politics. When you go back to his word, you find out that even when those guys were even being televised, be like, you just personally, I was just seeing them playing out the role that they were told to play. Out of 17 members of the ward, executive members of the ward, 12, and that's a whole number of them. 12 signed to the paper, and I think for me, as it stands now, I think it's time up for Ayu.
And this will surely point fingers towards the G5, especially Governor Wike, that even after the election, we saw an interview where he was saying, or we saw in a video where he was saying that next is to take back the party, that they're going to chase out the Buccaneers and the vampires and all of that. And with moves like this, of course, it will not be wrong to say, or it will not be far from the fact that people like Governor Wike have they have gone ahead to look for loopholes, possible ways to actually oust Ayu, because before the election they probably couldn't do it because they had their hands full. But now the elections are over, and before people like Wike would leave office, of course, you would know that he will do everything within his power to ensure that his request for the national chairman to be removed must happen. And now we've seen it already happening. And so people like Governor Wike, they are really impressed. I'm not even going to keep it on him. I don't know the reaction of the entire party, if they are all happy at the fact that the national chairman is being ousted or is being removed. I don't really know.
But I think we should also consider the fact that the wise saying that said that he who comes to justice must come with clean hands. Yeah. Okay. Now you have Wike that it is so glaring that he was
he did
emperor of anti-party.
Yes.
He came out and made it so known. So if you can suspend Ayimpayo,
okay, so what's happening to him? Why is he still there?
Yes. Suspend the national chairman
for anti-party activities.
What then happens to him?
Not just Wike, even the governor of Benue State.
Yes.
Yes, because he's also
no,
guilty.
he's not just so that they can ease it off. They say he's going for disciplinary, going to face the disciplinary committee. See, PDP.
Not just
PDP. Oh God.
I'm trying to be very mild with the language, but then Nigeria is in some kind of, I don't know the level of imprisonment that we're in, but whether it is mental one or something else, I don't know. Where we have our leaders in their own world, where everything can be twisted, while the rest of us are in our own world where we can only complain and rant. Meanwhile, when you complain and rant, the laws of the land does not even help you. Nothing helps you to put things in the right perspective. You just have these leaders wake up and say, what was that law about? They say we cannot drive through this bridge. What is this bridge about? Push, be going. Are there people on the bridge? Crush them. And then they do it in impunity. Because in all this while where people have twisted the laws to favor nonsense, nobody has been arrested, nobody has been called to order, everybody is running on a free will and doing things the way they want. All right, so we just hope that the PDP doesn't disintegrate into oblivion, because it's beginning to look like they are having their hands.
Yeah, I hope. I hope they should go.
Oh well, at some point they could get.
What kind of leadership is
yes,
this?
because they seem to be so disorganized. Yes, so disorganized, factions, disorganization of all sorts, and they seem to not to have a headway. Just right after the party, Atiku is there trying to struggle to see whether he will have a headway. The party that is supposed to be giving him support, they are having so much disunity amongst them. So how are they expecting to get some kind of result from their legal case that is already on? And then just yesterday we are hearing that the court has struck out one part of Atiku's request in the court and all of that. So you see, there's a lot going on with the PDP, and we don't know. Let's just watch and see the outcomes of all of that. We also see here 2023 polls, British envoy faults Fani Kayode's inciting remarks. And says 10 persons on visa ban watch list. Article Hills UK says DSS must arrest former minister. Well, we're going to enter that matter, but let's go to our last paper for the day. But that will be right after this short break. Once we come back, we'll delve into that story. But then, don't forget that you can also be a part of this program by dropping your comments and your reactions on the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe by clicking on the subscribe key, and don't forget to turn on your notification, because that helps you to get notified whenever we come up with a new episode of the program. See you right after this break.
Hey there, are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers, and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state-of-the-art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators, and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.
Hello, welcome back from that break. Thank you so much for staying with us up to this time here on the newspaper review. All right, let's get back to our newspaper headlines, and we'll be dealing with Daily Sun newspaper as our next paper for today, the 27th day in the month of March 2023. We see as headline here, Iwanya, who didn't refer to Yoruba as political rascals, Ohaneze speaking. We see that story on page 26 of the Daily Sun newspaper. Also here on the Daily Sun, as the headliner, it says here, UK places 10 Nigerians on visa watch list over ethnic profiling. Envoy says list still growing. It says chant of anti-Igbo slogan at polling unit unacceptable. Wonders why APC didn't distance itself from Fani Kayode's utterances. Article Hales UK says DSS must arrest ex-aviation minister for inciting comments. We also see here, CBN steps up efforts to end Naira scarcity. Banks to increase dispensing of notes. More trouble for Ayu as NEC members back suspension by Benue PDP. And I'll take this one. It says, FEC, Buhari, Obasanjo, Jonathan, Tinubu, Kalu goes governors, Mondia. Page 28 is where you get details of that story. And this one also says, election violence, investigate governors, deputies, or face legal actions. Syrup tells INEC. All right, page 6 is where details of that story is. Okay, let's go into some of the discussions here on the Daily Sun. So 2 of the stories that caught my attention, but first let's start with that of the UK government placing 10 Nigerians on visa watch list over ethnic profiling. Well, of course, we've talked a lot about, how the elections went down, and then the ethnic profiling that went down so much in Lagos. In Lagos State was like the epicenter of all of that. Recently, we have the former Minister of Aviation, Fani Kayode, been on a roll on Twitter, saying all sorts, spilling out all kinds of threats, to Nigerians, to politicians, I don't know what's up with that young man, but what's your take on what the UK government is saying and the caution they are throwing at, Fani Kayode?
Well, it's remarkable to note that the UK that he is against, that he was born in 1960 when independence we gained our independence. Yeah. So he made mention that the UK should mind that they should note that Nigeria has been an independent country for the past 63 years. So they should be on their own. That Nigeria is an independent country. Okay, yeah. So that's that for you. So, but you now try to imagine. For me, I think it is a right step. It's a good step in the right direction for the UK to come up with that list. I can't wait to see the names. Okay, they should publish it so that if there are ones that we can, as public opinion is, we can come out to say, okay, no, we don't think that this person should make the list, and we should also see the people that
truly deserves it.
Yeah, so that we can dissect the information we get from there. So, welcome development, but you still ask the questions: do these people even really need the UK? Okay, do these politicians really need the UK? We know that they have different destinations. Yet one can say that UK might be number one destination for many of them, okay? But they still now go to France to have their meetings. In fact, they still go to Turkey. What about the UAE, Dubai? They go there, okay? Even Hajj, before Hajj, some of them go do their meetings before they go for their Hajj. Okay, so there are many options for them, except Nigeria, because they don't want to do any meeting here in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, Fani has been. Why do I want to? There's something in me that I want to use some words, but God, I'm trying my best not to use them. But yes, he also made a very shaky comment about the former president, that's Olusegun Obasanjo, and he said, okay, let me even go a bit backward. During the 1-year anniversary of Soludo, that's the current governor of Anambra State, the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, made some comment about Igbos and said that while he was recruiting Okonjo-Iweala for Minister of Finance and the governor of Anambra State, Soludo, for the CBN role, that somebody met him. He did not mention the name of the person. The person met him that, why are you picking Igbos for this role? That means this economy will be doomed. Okay. Now, he now said that he does not know why people have Igbophobia. Okay. And Fani Kayode reacted and said that, that Obasanjo's father is not a Yoruba man. That is possibly an Igbo man. Well,
yes, it's
I hold my peace. Yeah, there are some things I want to say, but I don't think it's
But I think they have to caution Fani Kayode. He's been on the road saying all sorts on Twitter. and some of the comments have been highly irresponsible at this very, very critical time, just right after the elections, where Nigerians are trying to recover, trying to heal of the level of, ethnic, slurs plus bigotry that we have had to see, just rise up from nowhere. And then we have Fani Kayode on Twitter tweeting all sorts. And then the DSS that he has been calling on to arrest other people have also watched him go ahead to break all the rules, to go ahead and also, say things that as a senior citizen. It's not like he's an old man, but based on the offices that he has occupied in Nigeria, one would say, okay, well, I know Fani Kayode. There's nearly nobody that doesn't know that name. And then that name should come with respect. But with the kind of things he has been doing recently, I'm afraid the guy is losing his respect. And to what end is what we don't understand. Because currently he doesn't hold any office. He's just an APC member that has gone from one party to the other, and then finally he has landed here in the APC. And then we have Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the incoming president. We don't know what Fani Kayode is looking for, but some of his commentaries are truly insightful. I've read some and I'm like, really, somebody's saying this? Is he really saying this? And the whole world is watching. So I feel he should be called to order, and if there's someone to be arrested at this time and cautioned, is the DSS. And funny enough, he is just coming out of the DSS. He was arrested months ago, just before the election, for the same reckless commentaries that he has been putting out. Here we are back to it again. And
he was humble then. Sorry.
Yeah, he said that they humbled him. The guy talks a lot. He talks a lot. He came back and told us that he was really drilled. He was humbled, and then
there are some things that he said that he was not supposed to say.
But now he has gone ahead to be saying so much things that he's not supposed to be saying at this time. And then to worsen it, the APC, the government not yet the government, but Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his executives or his friends or whatever, they are watching this man do so much or say so much that is not helping them. Is it the body language of the party APC or the incoming? Please, these are some of the things that Nigerians are asking at this time. And if it's not the body language of the incoming, please, they should put Fani Kayode in order. Put him back in order, please.
Don't you think that he is not looking forward to become the information minister?
Well, that would be a very reckless information minister.
Remember the current Lai Mohammed? Before he became minister, he was talking. He was talking, not until just lately now that he has been muted. But he was talking, and using textbook. Even
Lai Mohammed, the kind of commentaries Lai Mohammed has made in this government.
Kayode is world record breaking.
So I'm thinking that all of this, we don't need all of this at this time. Nigerians are going through a lot of mental and emotional instability at this time. You don't need to add all of those commentaries. They are really annoying and very discomforting at this time. So please, if you're truly a leader, we expect you to speak in that manner, not recklessly and out of control because of maybe certain sentiments you have. All right? Because even the people you're accusing will go back and check what they said. It doesn't amount to all the interpretations that Fani Kayode is putting out. I don't know, but then maybe they will say we are young and we don't know what we're saying. Well, thank you very much, Victor, for coming to the program. I'm afraid that's where we draw the curtains today here on the News Super Review. I want to thank you for watching this program. Until next time we come your way again, make sure you stay connected to TAF TV.